The Madman!
What do you guys think? Do you keep Gnomish Inventor in your hand? Okay, chat. Okay. I believe you. Kind of. And it's the same idea behind not keeping Novice. I would also say, by the way, you don't keep Novice Engineer. But you do keep Loot Hoarder because that card actually puts on the pressure. This is definitely a really tough matchup to play well. It looks like it's just a bunch of luck between whoever gets Raza and Anduin wins. And that's true to some extent, because who does get that off is at a huge advantage. But I'm growing more and more convinced that there's more to meet this. I'm growing really convinced that this is like actually one of the hardest matchups to play. Well, something like that. So yeah, the reason you don't keep Novice Engineer is because if you mulligan it, you basically draw a card also. So it's better to draw the Novice Engineer late when you are out of stuff to do. That's one thing that I know for certain. The idea of this deck and why Novice Engineer is in this deck is you are trying to have as few cards in your deck as possible because Kazakus, Raza, and Shadow Reaper Anduin are so powerful. So that's why you would put yourself at a disadvantage even by including a 2-mana 1/1 in your deck whose only purpose is to cycle. That's because the rest of the deck is that powerful that it theoretically works out. And that's how I see it. Now the idea behind keeping Gnomish Inventor is at least it's a 2/4. I think I'm supposed to keep Priest of the Feast around for like a comeback later on. I used to just play that as a 3/6, but I mean he has Tar Creeper in the way, so I'm not really doing anything anyways. So good news he didn't have Raza. Bad news I don't have Raza. Hopefully good news he doesn't have Anduin. I definitely have one of the less good hands though. But coming up with a win with a less good hand is one of the talents of Hearthstone. I'm gonna play Raza next turn. I mean, Lyra next turn with the 3/1 drops, I think. Or I could just go Lyra this and this right now. No, that's not good enough. Toughest pass of my life. Alright. Following the philosophy that you have such powerful key cards, is it better not to play Elise until after Raza, Anduin, etc. are in hand? It probably depends. But often playing a 5-mana 5/5 is worth the slight drawback of diluting your deck. But it's quite possible that it just depends. It primarily depends on whether or not the Enguro pack is good at a certain situation. Probably. Ooh.
The light has betrayed me.
I'll let the Radiant Elemental stay on the board. I wonder if he planned that since I was going to my turn 8, I would want to play Anduin. So if I played Anduin, he would at least have Radiant Elemental out. That would be pretty good if you planned it that way. I feel like any plan other than exactly that plan would be pretty bad. Which implies that I don't respect the way he played this turn. It hurts to use that card since it's a low-cost card for Lyra. He could have lethal right now. Pretty spooky.
Not all wonder are lost.
I mean, if he has lethal, it's just, okay, fine. You got me, bro. He actually has 4 over. That's pretty good. Potion of Madness is a very questionable keep. I'm going to keep it because it seems like most of the early game minions are the ones you want to steal. I fully admit to this being pretty questionable.
Is someone injured?
I probably just denied him the Loot Hoarder or Novice Engineer. And he's like, ah! So when I think about the last game, Priest of the Feast is actually probably just a 4-mana 3/6 in this matchup because of the Valen Burst. Steady healing doesn't even matter.
Blessed be this funnel cake.
Hey, give me that!
It's a really slow play to heal that right now, but I think that's correct. Get the value out of my Northshire while I can. No.
Right away.
Mostly because I would overdraw. If I had fewer cards, I would have done it.
This jungle has many secrets.
I hope you like my invention.
Alright, time for the Elise beatdown train. I'm looking up on... Everyone keeps criticizing why Elise is in this deck. Let me look up the standard Razakus deck real fast. Oh, is it because Elise isn't in this deck that everyone thinks it's out of place? Okay, that would be the case. Alright, maybe I just hold a special place in my heart for her, okay? Alright, is that okay? Maybe it's wrong, but if she's wrong, then I don't want to be right. How about that?
I wonder.
Alright, so I don't want to play this into it because of Anduin, so I should play this into it. 4/5. And I think we need to go for a 5 here, due to running out of useful things. We're looking for draw. Let's see, summon things. Draw? Yeah. Me like.
Mind if I roll need?
Potion of Madness target detected. Ah, he played around it. So I think he would have played Anduin if he had it there, since I had a 5/5 out. It should be right to play my card here instead of Kazaka's potion because having Rosin the Deadpool is above average. So my only way of killing that is currently Dragonfire. He definitely doesn't have Anduin in his hand. And boy, if you're playing Lyra, you better have a good idea of what you're doing on this turn. Is that your turn? What?
A mistake. This jungle has many secrets.
Just goes to show you how high a skill cap this deck is. Well, I just hope he doesn't have Anduin. I mean, he clearly doesn't have it at the moment. Anduin? I was about to pick Cabal Courier, but then I saw Mind Blast. I actually could pick wrong here. It's possible. That's sad. Phew. Could have been Cabal Courier. There's some decks out there that do that.
We hunger for vengeance. Quickly.
Is someone injured? Thank you.
I'll assume I draw into an answer. I need to borrow this for a moment. Oh boy. Gah! It's fine. I drew Lyra partway into the turn, okay? It's not my fault. It's not my fault.
Let the pain speak to me.
He's one of these, I guess.
Legendary.
For your information, by the way, I fully intended to play the silence afterwards. No, I actually should have played Shep. No. It was correct? Correct. Blood Bloom free from Amber, huh? It's probably not good. Guess we play Shadow Word Pain since he's played Lyra already. Ooh. So I want to play Acolyte of... Oh, I should play Stampede. Wait, whenever you play a beast... Do I have any beasts in this deck? I don't, so this is completely dead. Well, it's not completely dead, and I can use Spell for Anduin, but... For the most part, the other cards are more useful. No, the reason you have to play it, though, is because Acolyte of Pain is here to draw you cards, and I have too many cards could overdraw.
Is someone injured?
The shadows grow short.
So I haven't seen Potion of Madness from him yet. It's likely that he has it.
We hunger for vengeance.
You do have lethal next turn, but we just have to dodge lethal this turn. Also, I am convinced that the Valen version is the best now. It wasn't, just a while ago, it wasn't that certain that this version was the best version.
Darkness will be my revenge. Total darkness will be my revenge.
Well played.
Womp womp.
The shadows grow short.
Brilliant.
Let's never talk about this. Gravitate. I just played against this guy, right? He was playing Jade Druid with 2 mind controls, so basically anti-aggro Jade Druid. Two 3-drops, but still not worth using the coin, I think. That was an interesting trade. Right, Shadow Word Horror. Makes sense.
Is someone injured?
Makes some sense. I think that might have been overdoing it, though. He traded so confidently. Oh, there's the trade again. Ooh. I'm just getting so much value here. I don't know if my being a priest is, I don't know, casting mind control on him or something? All of these trades are things I love.
Your magic shall not save.
Is he going face? No, of course not. That would be insane. Alright, so I want to try to avoid having 4 minions out in this game. So I don't think I should play both minions. Now that's tricky because it means I have to severely underspend mana. I'm going to play 2 minions anyways, I guess is how it's going to come out. Maybe I draw a card that's like a swipe here.
I will find.
That's actually overdoing it. Is there any merit to not playing another card this turn? Coin Priest of the Feast? I think there's merit in taking it slow.
Circle of life is over.
Wow, he shuffled number 1. Interesting. Probably burning to get the ultimate infestation, is my prediction.
Blessed be this funnel cake.
I played that turn fast and extremely incorrectly. Not that wrong. I basically had to get rid of cards so I could finally play this Acolyte.
Let the pain speak to me. Hey, that's my game.
I'm fine with burning a few cards, I guess, if it comes down to it. It takes a little bit of effort for him to do it on a turn where he probably wants to cast Ultimate Infestation based off of his play. Also, I was okay playing the 4th minion due to him probably wanting to cast UI this turn.
I hope you like my invention. Pass me the hat.
Just have too many cards, yo. It's ridiculous to some extent. Turns out to be right not to heal the Acolyte, otherwise I can overdraw.
You would lead our people to ruin.
Not bad. Would be a shame if something happened to all those cards.
Bring the pain. The light has betrayed me.
Mind if I roll need?
If you're
That was a pretty good turn.
Golems are a girl's best friend.
I don't actually know how many Jade Idols are in there, but there's a lot of Jade Idols, is really all I need to know. Yes.
Not all wonder are lost.
I might be going in the,
Shadows grow short.
It's very possible I'm taking the wrong path here. Depends on whether or not he runs VGH. Kind of. Pretty much. But that's just so good, it seems. So let's see. I used 12 points of burn on minions, so the opponent could be at 10 instead.
Engaging TC-130 into dislocator.
Dragonfire is not really going to scratch the other cards from here on out. Is Kazakis right for a 5 or a 10? Probably a 5 here. Not a 1 because we're actually out of stuff. So this should be right. I know you often get a 1, but we're running out of stuff, so 5 is probably right. Yeah, expect one big minion to be out. This will be pretty good against that. That's pretty good. Resummoning 2 could get Valen, but I think that's a little bit too hopeful. No, deal 5 Polymorph Random is actually going to be really good against that thing. Let's see, so I'm out of spells in this deck. So next turn he's going to flood me with Jades. We actually can't wait. I'll use this as like an ice block turn. So that can always be played, but this needs a target.
The shadows grow.
I do have to consider I have Lyra. This one, I guess.
Shadow.
The main problem is whether or not Pain can actually find a target. I'm not entirely sure whether or not it can.
Engaging TC-130 until
Oh,
dislocated.
that was a lot less bad than I expected. Oh! Man, too bad I don't have Doomsayer, right?
The shadows grow short.
It looks like we got it with this combination dealing 6 total.
This jungle hides many secrets.
Actually dealing... Yeah, we really want to open the pack.